It was 2:37 a.m. I was lying in bed, my phone screen the only light in the room, eyes glazed over a stream of inspirational quotes. "Stay hungry," one meme said. "Work harder," demanded another. I fed on those words, hoping they'd spark something. But each dawn I woke the same, empty and exhausted. I had thousands of pieces of motivation, yet it felt like someone had drained the color from my life. In that moment, I realized it wasn't motivation I lacked, it was identity. I was 24, about to graduate, and everyone assumed I had it all figured out. I followed all the advice. I structured my mornings with sunrise yoga and cold showers, and my afternoons with alphabetized to-do lists. I even donned an extra smile for the motivational speakers who said, "Do more, be more." When I nailed my internship interview or signed up for a hackathon, people called me disciplined and unstoppable. Yet late at night, I still felt numb and isolated, like I was performing productivity rather than living as a person chasing purpose. Little did I know I was looking in the wrong place. It started in college. I'd walk across campus, headphones in, chasing TED Talks and podcasts about success. Speakers would list off impossible feats, and I'd think, I want that life. I even bought a journal and scribbled big dreams. Launch a startup by 25, change the world. But by morning, all that excitement evaporated. I felt nothing. I started believing something was wrong with me, that maybe I was lazy or just needed to try harder. So I kept pushing. The treadmill sped up and I sprinted until I was breathless. But still, the emptiness returned. Over the next few months, I fell into a cycle. I'd wake at dawn with new energy, only to watch it fade by noon. I was playing pretend. One day I was the artist, furiously painting at a cafe table. The next I was the techie, frantically debugging code late at night. The more I performed these roles, the more lost I felt. It was like I was a puzzle missing too many pieces. And then came the crash. It happened quietly, as these things often do. One morning, my alarm was silent. I opened my eyes to sunlight through the blinds and stayed in bed, tangled in sheets. I hadn't even started my routine. No coffee, no meditation, not even my laptop. Instead, there was just emptiness and a heavy dread in my chest. In that quiet moment, I thought to myself, I'm done faking it. Something had to change. A week later, my friend Sarah found me in the same spot. She didn't start with a pep talk, she just said softly, "You look lost." That one word cut deeper than any lecture. "Maybe it's not motivation you need," she added. "Maybe you need less noise. Maybe you need yourself." Her words hung in the air. I almost snapped, but I do have routines and goals. But then I realized how loud my world had become. Constant notifications, endless advice, all drowning out the one voice that mattered. I could barely hear myself think. In the days that followed, I tried something new. Instead of ticking off tasks, I asked myself what I actually cared about, beyond the endless to-dos. I found an old high school notebook filled with faded scribbles of teenage dreams. Write a story, paint a mural, travel abroad. Remembering those made me feel oddly warm, like my younger self was whispering, "Did I ever try to find her again?" That night, I stood in front of the mirror and asked out loud, "Who am I, really? Who do I want to be?" The reflection stared back, confused and tired. It felt like standing at a crossroads blindfolded. Then I realized I had a choice. I had been defining myself by everything but myself, by labels and roles, and it was time to change that. It happened on a rainy Thursday. With my laptop broken, I hid away in a quiet bookstore with a cup of tea and my notebook. I wrote down what felt true, not what I should do. The storm outside matched the storm inside, and in those messy notes I found a spark. I could actually see for the first time what I truly cared about, hints of who I really was. Slowly, I began to test this new understanding. Before committing to anything, I asked, does this align with what I care about? I started saying no to things that didn't spark joy. Jam sessions I was only attending out of obligation, leadership programs I felt no passion for, endless social media challenges. Suddenly, so much felt optional. It was scary at first. What if I ended up saying no to everything? But I took small steps. guided by those inklings of truth I'd discovered. I remember one night I canceled a networking event I felt obligated to attend and instead spent the evening drawing monsters and spaceships. My roommate peeked in and asked, "Since when do you draw monsters?" I just shrugged. "Since I remembered I love stories," I said. That answer felt honest. After all those forced obligations, doing something silly and creative felt like breathing. Maybe I didn't become a billionaire overnight, but things began to shift. Suddenly, I was writing blog posts about topics I actually wanted to share, not just to check a box. I even volunteered at a local theater, started planning little adventures for myself. People noticed I seemed calmer. For once, I felt like I had a North Star guiding me. Social media changed too. I unfollowed hype-driven accounts and followed people who kept it real. Seeing others share messy, honest moments felt more inspiring than any polished montage. I even started posting my own quiet snapshots. Sunrise hikes, messy sketches, nothing glossy. For the first time, I wasn't comparing, I was just being. And yeah, some days I'm still tired. Motivation doesn't always flow just because I'm on the right path. When I do stumble, I ask myself, what do I want my story to be? It's no longer, I want to feel energized, but I want to be the kind of person who never gives up when things get hard. This time, I have a direction. If you've ever had that 2 a.m. moment, scrolling, searching, feeling like the messages just don't stick, maybe I'm talking to you. Maybe you've watched every viral pep talk and still felt empty. It's not about being lazy or needing more coffee. It's about asking, who am I beneath this constant pressure? What do I care about when no one is watching? You don't actually lack motivation. You lack identity. Motivation is a spark, but identity is the fuel. It's the difference between chasing someone else's dream and walking your own path. The truth is, your identity is already inside you. Life may smother it with noise and expectations, but it never truly disappears. Find a quiet moment. Write down one small thing that truly matters to you, even if it sounds silly. Then pursue it, even if progress is slow. The greatest motivation comes when you're driven by who you truly are. I'm still figuring it out, adding another sentence to my story every day, and so are you.